On a mission of vital importance in a developing country, Chris Kyle, a highly talented sniper from the U.S. Navy SEAL, currently on active duty, with meticulous attention, he carefully watches the route of a U.S. convoy from a rooftop, believing that the convoy's safety may be in jeopardy. His unparalleled expertise and dedication underlines the importance of the mission, highlighting the gravity of the situation. In this tense atmosphere, Chris Kyle is at the center of this crucial action, proving to be a consummate professional and a dedicated defender of national security. Everything seems to be going well until a youngster approaching the caravan is given a grenade by a Muslim woman. Chris is given the all-clear to neutralize the child, but he finds himself in a difficult moral position. The scene transitions to Chris's childhood, where he is hunting with his father in the woods. From a young age, Chris displayed remarkable marksmanship, prompting his father to believe he would become a skilled hunter. His father imparted a belief that the world comprises 3 types of people: sheep, wolves, and sheepdogs. The sheep are vulnerable, the wolves prey on the weak, and the sheepdogs protect their flock. Chris's father aspires for his son to be a sheepdog, safeguarding his community from the wolves. Many years have passed, and Chris has blossomed into a young man. The words of his father linger in his mind, a constant source of guidance. Now a skilled rodeo cowboy, Chris shares his life with his girlfriend, Sarah. However, one fateful night, returning home from a race, he stumbles upon Sarah entangled with another man. Confronting the situation with force, Chris takes decisive action, resulting in Sarah's eviction. She accuses him of being a failed farmer disguised as a cowboy, a painful truth that Chris reluctantly accepts. In the aftermath of a night filled with heavy drinking alongside his brother, Chris is confronted with alarming news. Explosions are erupting at U.S. embassies across the globe, causing a significant toll on American lives. This revelation sparks a profound sense of purpose within him. Driven by a newfound determination, Chris decides to visit the Armed Forces Career Assistance Office, taking the courageous step to enlist. The counselor recognizes Chris's determination and suggests he join the SEALs, but not without cautioning about the high dropout rate in SEAL training. Chris heeds the advice and embarks on the rigorous training, where his exceptional marksmanship and potential as a sniper shine. After months of training, he successfully passes the test and becomes a SEAL. One night at a bar, Chris meets Taya, and their connection leads to a passionate night together. Over time, they fall in love and marry. On their wedding day, Chris and his fellow SEALs receive orders for deployment in Iraq. They celebrate the milestone, and Chris reassures Taya he will return after 6 months. The troop is assigned to Fallujah, Iraq, tasked with safeguarding Marines conducting house-to-house searches for terrorists. The scene shifts back to Chris preparing to shoot the approaching child. As the boy races towards the convoy, Chris fires, bringing him down. The woman is also stopped by Chris, who shoots her. The grenade detonates away from the convoy, saving the Marines. Though praised for his actions, Chris is haunted by the child's death. As days pass, Chris continues to protect the troops, becoming the best sniper on his team. Then, Taya surprises Chris with news of her pregnancy. They maintain their connection through frequent phone calls, despite being separated. In the next scene, the sniper team receives information about an Al-Qaeda leader, Zarqawi, and his lieutenants. They intensify their door-to-door search, with Chris providing cover from a distance. Their mission goes smoothly until a soldier is wounded. Chris decides to join the search team, while his fellow snipers maintain overwatch. During the search, they discover an Arabic sheik with his family living in a supposed empty house. The sheik explains that they have nowhere else to go and pleads for the Americans to leave, fearing the wrath of the local butcher, who is affiliated with Zarqawi and poses potential value in tracking down the main target. The sheik, having provided crucial information, is promised a substantial sum of money and relocation to a safe haven. The following day, a military vehicle departs to meet the sheik once more. Taya contacts Chris while on the road to inform him that they are expecting a baby boy. Amidst congratulations from his fellow SEALs, tragedy strikes as the driver is shot and killed. This incident introduces a terrorist sniper named Mustafa, an Olympic gold medalist renowned for making nearly impossible shots. He is the one responsible for the attack. With the absence of a driver, the vehicle crashes. Taya, still on the phone, panics. Chris manages to find a hiding spot and observes the snipers. The butcher holds the sheik and his family captive before killing the sheik's son. The sheik rushes to his son's aid but is killed. Chris cannot engage the enemy because Mustafa continuously fires at him, having pinpointed his hiding place. Ultimately, both the butcher and Mustafa escape unscathed. A few days later, Chris and his team return home. Taya is overjoyed to see her husband alive, but her happiness wanes as she realizes that the experience has transformed him. Horrors he witnessed and the actions he had to undertake have left a profound impact on his psyche. In the subsequent scene, the couple is heading back from a hospital visit when Taya goes into labor. Chris turns the car around, and a few hours later, their boy is born at home. Taya encourages Chris to open up about his feelings and experiences, believing that sharing will help him. However, he rebuffs the conversation, fearing that she'll be burdened with the knowledge that their baby is not his. Shortly afterward, he receives news that their team will return to Iraq. Taya is reluctant to see him go, but understands his commitment to duty. Upon landing in Iraq, they are briefed about their mission to apprehend the butcher, with Chris leading the team this time. It becomes apparent that a bounty has been placed on Chris's head by Al-Qaeda due to his previous operations against the butcher's alleged associates. They encounter a family, and while the family's head claims they have no knowledge of the terrorists, the team becomes skeptical when Chris notices an elbow injury that appears war-related. When no one is looking, Chris conducts a covert search of his room and discovers a hidden compartment in the floor containing arms. He is swiftly apprehended and subjected to interrogation, wherein he makes a deal to aid the soldiers in infiltrating the butcher's location to secure his own survival. In the subsequent scene, the troops cautiously encircle the building. The man, acting as a liaison, knocks on the door and gains entry among his fellow terrorists. His welcome is short-lived, as he is swiftly eliminated, followed by the man when he attempts to retrieve a weapon. The team breaches the house and discover corpses, bearing the unmistakable signature of the butcher's brutality. Soon, they are detected, prompting a firefight with the terrorists. The butcher capitalizes on the chaos, fleeing through a tunnel as a diversion. Upon Chris's return to the United States, he grapples with the challenge of reintegrating into civilian life. He is plagued by the trauma of war, particularly loud noises that evoke painful memories. While he silently suffers, Taya gives birth to their second child, a daughter. Chris visits her in the postnatal ward and witnesses a nurse tending to another child while their daughter cries. He loses his composure over this minor incident, berating the nurses. Taya notices his peculiar behavior, expressing her concern that he is emotionally absent, always preoccupied with something. She implores him to share his thoughts and feelings, but he remains closed off, fixated on the notion that their baby is not his. In the following scene, Chris's team returns to Iraq, pursuing the butcher's van. When the enemies open fire, they respond and seek refuge in the nearest building. Suddenly, Chris's comrade, Biggles, is shot down. The group provides cover for Chris as he evacuates the wounded soldier to the vehicle and rushes him to the base. After ensuring proper medical care, the soldiers resume their mission with a vengeance, becoming relentless killing machines. At one point, they pause at a suspicious house, only to be ambushed by the terrorists outside. A soldier named Mark perishes in the ensuing firefight. Later, the team returns home with Mark's body and attends his funeral. Chris reveals that he read a letter written by Mark before his death, a letter that Mark believed foretold his demise. Motivated by the loss of his friend, Chris decides to seek revenge and return to Iraq. Taya pleads with him to reconsider, emphasizing the importance of his presence for their children. She fears he may return to an empty home, but Chris remains determined to pursue his mission. While in Iraq, Chris learns that Biggles died during surgery. In a routine mission, he spots a boy armed with a rocket-propelled grenade, ready to attack the convoy. He eliminates the threat, but is apprehensive about potentially having to kill another child. Fortunately, the child abandons the grenade due to its weight. Back at the base, Chris and his team receive information about a sniper, likely Mustafa, targeting them from over 1,000 yards away. Despite an approaching sandstorm obstructing their vision, they are tasked with eliminating the sniper at any cost. The team positions themselves to protect the troops constructing a protective wall. Mustafa, however, surprises them by firing from an unexpected direction, claiming the life of a U.S. soldier. Chris swiftly repositions his team as they spot movement approximately 2,100 yards away. Despite others' skepticism regarding the shot's feasibility, Chris confirms the target and takes the shot, ultimately killing the enemy sniper. The gunshot alerts the remaining terrorists, resulting in a shootout that inflicts casualties on both sides. As they run low on ammunition, a sandstorm descends upon them. Chris believes his time is up and calls Taya, expressing his readiness to return home for good. After the call, they utilize the sandstorm as cover and escape. Although Chris is injured during the chaos, his comrades spot him and rescue him, ensuring his survival. The scene shifts to several months later, with Chris in a bar. He receives a call from his wife, and the lingering effects of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, from the war are evident. Taya encourages him to seek help from a psychiatrist, a decision that proves beneficial. Chris also joins a support group of fellow veterans, providing a sense of connection and understanding. Over the course of time, he gradually confronts and conquers the lingering trauma, paving the way for a more enriching existence, forever marked by the profound impact of his experiences. Chris reestablishes connections with his family, embarks on a fresh chapter in a new residence, and steadfastly imparts his passion for hunting to his son. On the 2nd of February 2013, an ex-Marine contacts Chris, promising to return later in the day. Tragically, he never fulfills this promise, as further revelations reveal that Chris is dead and the film ends.